Hello, my name's Jay and this is Dave, and together a few weeks ago we made a video called Love on the Line, which was a comedy monologue inspired by Stephen Fry's The Letter. And in order to show that to one of my deaf friends, I was going to put subtitles on, and then I found out that YouTube has this automated captions program. Is that right, Dave? That enables you to have subtitles without having to do them yourself. YouTube does it for you. Unfortunately, they didn't exactly reflect what I'd said, which you and I found hilarious, didn't we, Dave? And they were so good and so ridiculous that we've decided to re-perform Love on the Line using the YouTube automated captions. Hope you enjoy it. For as long as I need her, name's in it. We met online, anti-rebel convention. Memorised management Belfast. Maestro Krasner United. Another anyhow, none cheap off Fusterswer. Anna landed on my face. I think I have a lot to get a lot of others often do start attachment. At woman and I was passed between the bottom. I realise this is the first time a long time myself hold. Rebecca Grace's midline management, posterior much touted nasal septum. Intensity dated 10 games my life. CNN's Atlas, mostly with the grandma possibilities, virtually feels that. Verse was out of the head, you need them. Occasionally needs arise, undemand sink and respect them. I do, I reply, as images are getting married in France washed over me. Commander. I was dead before passing out. Y says he's achieving on and on. When I was in hospital, businesses are over there still, time side of the day. Options defines as peace you're going to begin to describe it because I've lost my source, but cheers beauty nonetheless. There was not looking arrives, she said to be of interest or influence. Almost time. What a badass till date. Learned on, she said. After a local police are taking turns, confusing. What was travelling from the vibrations acting on the bed, and see you. Despite what she said, he's going to go in for a drink. Happy days, later police in a hospital and then to the local cafe. Was glorious, secondly Sprout is talking with. Call copy on hand signal before on the last he's a cop. There was a great connection between us. Connection, aggressive, holds on tight and refuses to let go. Over the next year and a crew interaction. McMullen, Hostler, Spakani. Not completely sterile. Will link you can expect to be in others, enjoying as needed parks, restaurants, the cinema museums, Nascimento 2 conventions, last year which proved to be anybody can speak about. We talked about having kids, but used in place to raise kids. Of course you know that disagreements, what web on outside collapsed. It has to stay over Christmas. I want to do in ransom money. Name. Still, despite the setbacks, who voted for and that and thrust into me and by the belief in each other and constricting sensationalizing without activated. Now lives change, the words after a series of unfortunate events fell. Michelle Burtless, Miss Lewis, dummies a month later, have to countless hospital visits in the long holiday recovery process. Elizabeth Cast was taken off. But she was unable to walk she had done before, without fee. On a really small still, despite demands that issue system more time, on the way back we stopped off at a supermarket. Analyst that lost £10. Ceaseless. Falling into some French brie, she cried out in time. Lead paint. I think I turned soft. Larry Payne, I realised that that's hard, working days are over. What I didn't realise, database again, will be a skin. My hat is in a mess. Child Parents Road, Bombay, Tokyo, still compiling copies. Lewis was installed, has been tonight. Elizabeth was 5, Mitchell as a primary school teacher having to cut you off base. To blame me because when she told me she didn't get to talk to you, I said to me, we heard that be. Ha 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 ha! Jim came a day like any other, except as Monday, 22 September 2000. I was in the KGB in Tens, bombing campaign going to be here as a copy of mine, unit. Saw loser in all of her face thanks to my misunderstanding about that too. At this time, missiles everything arise. Channels 40, Bikini, Montero, Walking Days, cause tightening between about this. Reducing arrives, perhaps because it was Wedge that fought and died. Suzuki committing antiques and handed it to me. All frustration and I carried over the past few non-Christian 18 months. Colby's quite simply losing it. And my family and I lost my temper. Face facts, you and I don't know the firewall engineered and ideals like my hand down. And call students and she can't. I stood there, shocked, having displays might have been tested. Practice callous or the realization that weekend and a half, for once had, would stop me from going after this event. Is more likely to tune in for peoples that you'd be mumbling. Payments theories ways Michael accountable 15 feet posterior. Just the thought process should be back south of the 1960s. Livelihood stipend requested as a client Heather Smith, although that was the last thing on my mind when, as a result of the impact, the seating dated. The bathroom game show, addressed most my father, was in its own. And others are painful my mother, folderol, about people as you know that, you know. Workshops was all with the bell is being tracked through all of the normal and into much more. Despite all these usually pain, while I think all Lisbon, all the good times and bad, counsel and everything in between meant to me, OJ said that there's a feeling I got to stop me called by the way to the bathroom. Elizabeth was the last thing on my mind, Wesley Smith vocals. When I was in hospital, I was waiting hospital. Unexpected is the peace that I believe it. All the loss of that is feeling. Understanding cracking it. Oracle Palestine, Israel reporting from inside, as that. I would, attendance or a bunch of grapes, and said the other way disorders of it. Tears flow in Bogota butterflies, and we saw each other and embraced each other tightly. Knowing that we were making without firing a life. Severity speaking, you realize that on balance, we'd be happy. It's time to give it a go.